Hi, everybody. This is your buddy Wolfman Pedro, and this is my darling wife Linney. Hello. We're finishing off some smash burger. It's big here.
Yeah, some fucking smash burger.
It's big here in the good old CO. And I've already mentioned that I live in Colorado, so leave me alone.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, she's a tinfoil hat wearer.
Oh, shut up.
Everything is open to everyone.
It's my parents' fault.
You wear
like everything else.
You wear your tinfoil hats. All right. We've wasted almost a minute. What are we on camera for today?
Ghostbusters review.
We went to go watch the Ghostbusters. Now, we did see it 2 days ago. Today is, what, Sunday? It's it's Sunday at 11:24. We saw it Friday at like 10 p.m., so it's been like 72 hours almost. No, 48 hours. And yeah, so just the quick goodies and all that fun stuff. We paid to go watch it. We didn't see any advanced screenings. This review has nothing to do with we aren't being paid by Sony. We aren't being paid by anyone. By Paul Feige, whatever the fuck the director's name is. I can't remember. And we aren't. You're a beast. And we aren't. We're not making money off of anyone else in this video. The only way that this video would make money, I am, as my other gaming videos, gonna throw monetization on it. That would be the only way that I make money, is if people watch ads. Whatever. So yeah, not being paid by Sony, Columbia, any affiliates. No one who worked on Ghostbusters is paying us for this review.
I think they got it. Yeah.
I'm just making sure I'm covering my spots. Alrighty.
Okay.
So let's start with a quick review, because this is going to be a review and probably also a spoilers talk. So if you haven't seen the movie, you have 3 seconds to leave.
Spoilers!
Spoiler review and quickie review starts now. Starting with the quickie review. If you were to say out of 10, I think my movie reviews, all of my reviews are going to be out of 10. I changed my mind. Out of 10, 10 being the best that it can be. It doesn't have to be a perfect film, but it is everything that you could have wanted from that movie. 10 being the best that it could have been. 1 being you would have left the theater asking for your money back.
I've never left a theater before. Ever.
That's why it's a 1. Like, fuck this movie, and it without any audience. Like, if the audience in the theater makes you leave, then it wouldn't be a 1. But the movie in itself would have made you say, fuck this movie. It is absolute garbage to me. I don't want anything to do with it. It's a 1.
Mine is a little generous, apparently. Mine is a 6.
Ghostbusters 2016. Coming from a non-white person. I am Latino. I'm not Caucasian, but you're a woman.
I'm very white.
I am not a white landowning male by any means. I am a 23-year-old Latino who lives in the basement of her parents' house. That's where we live. This is our apartment.
It's an apartment. It's not the basement.
I know, but basement's funny.
Yeah.
I'm giving Ghostbusters 2016 a motherfucking 3 out of 10. And that's me being a little generous. I could have said 2, but I'm going to give it a 3. Because of one reason. We can get into all that. Alright, so quickie review. The movie, by the trailers, it made me afraid that it was going to be a giant SNL skit, which it wasn't. It was its own film. It didn't feel like an hour and a half long of a Saturday Night Live sketch. You, with the mouthful. Anything to say, or do you want me to just keep going?
You keep going for a second.
Alright. See, I was afraid it was going to be an SNL skit, and it wasn't. It was more than that, but if there was one thing that I can say about this film, if I could sum it up in one word, it's potential. It had all the potential in the fucking world to be an amazing movie. And the part that really brings it down, honestly, is that there are these tiny little glimmers of light, these tiny little things that are amazing, that I think are really, really good ideas, that they're really cool. It's not that funny, but the parts that were funny, I chuckled, like, I smiled and said, okay, that was pretty fucking funny, like 3 times. And now I can't even remember what those fucking times were. And that has nothing to do with this review being recorded 2 days after the fact. we were in the car on our way home, and I know that I distinctly remember pointing out, like, okay, that was pretty funny. 3, maybe 4 times, and I can't remember a single fucking one.
That's right. You
And
did
in the
that.
car, I couldn't remember, like, what made me laugh.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of parts that made me go, are you fucking serious? Like, there are these older women behind us, and they were laughing the entire time. They thought this movie was hilarious. And I just remember, like, I never turned around, but I remember I looked at you and I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, that shit isn't funny. And I laugh at everything. It is really easy to make me laugh. And this movie barely made me laugh. Like I said, in the hour, like, the entire hour and a half, it made me laugh maybe 3, maybe 4 times. You giggled quite a bit.
I laughed quite a lot. I didn't think the movie was good, especially based on the original Ghostbusters, which I grew up and loved. I loved those. But comparatively, it was not as good as the originals, I think, you know. I did laugh a lot. They did have stupid jokes. It wasn't an SNL parody. I thought was really, really nice. I was worried about that too, along with you, but I had higher hopes for it. One of the reasons I'm giving it a 6 is because it met those hopes. It didn't exceed them. It didn't diminish them. I didn't have that high of hopes either. I really, really didn't. I had, it's gonna be okay. And that's what my rating is about too. It's a 6. You know, I don't find 6.
It's a
great.
slightly above average.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Angry Joe's scale, and like 5 is average. It is middle of the road. It is.
Well, yeah, I
so
understand
then a
that.
6
no.
would be slightly above.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which
The
makes
effects
sense.
were nice. I didn't like Slimer at all. That is a big pet peeve of mine. He looked ridiculous.
I thought Slimer
Did
looked
not look good.
okay.
It was not a sequel. It was not a sequel like they
No,
were
okay.
advertising.
Yeah,
it was
they
not
were-
a sequel like they were advertising. It was a remake.
Yeah.
It was a bad remake.
If you're going to make a remake, fucking admit that you're making a fucking remake. Don't say like, oh, everything still happened and this is a sequel. And, no, this was a fucking remake through and through.
Yep.
And, okay, the other thing that I was going to say, one reason why my review is a 3, or my rating is a 3 instead of a 2, is because I went in with garbage expectations. I went in hoping that I would like it, but realistically thinking like I was gonna fucking hate it, that it was gonna be a 1. No, not even, that it was gonna be a 1. And because I didn't hate it, it gave it a 3. That's one of the reasons it went up a little bit. But here's something else. Yeah, this is a fucking remake. And Hollywood can make good remakes. And one of my examples that is a remake, but it is also a sequel, is Star Wars The Force Awakens. It is it's a chronological sequel. It has all the original cast, but when you watch the movie, story beats, it's it's a new hope. Star Wars The Force Awakens is a new hope, but they treat it with love and respect.
They do.
And they see the fans of Star Wars, and they tell, like, you could see in the film that it's like, we have not by any means forgotten you. You are the reason we are making this movie, because we want to give you and your kids something to bond over.
Yeah.
We want to make this universe expand. We want to give it more life. We want to do what we can because we love it as well. Fucking Ghostbusters 2016. If it says, like, if you watch the movie without telling you, what the movie tells you is, if you're a fan of the original one, you can go fuck yourself, because this movie is not made for you. And those are fighting words, but it's
Those
like...
are fighting words.
But you know what? It has no respect for the source material. It just uses Ghostbusters as a fucking licensing tool and a money-making tool. And it... Again, it's like they tried to do... One of my biggest things is... Alright, 2 of the biggest things. Again, it's a fucking remake, not a sequel. If you're gonna make a remake, say you're making a fucking remake. And the fact that they were going with this whole thing of like, oh, we're being diverse and we have these like great female leads, and it's, it's gonna be diverse and different and whatnot. They're all female leads, but their characters are all exactly the fucking same in terms of stereotypes. We don't have like the overly loud black guy who, he's the one that's like the really funny guy and whatnot.
They didn't have that in the originals either.
Yes, they did. They
did. They fucking did.
She's racist. No, she's not. But it's like, yeah, they don't have a guy, but Leslie Jones fills that role. Fuck.
I like Leslie Jones.
I'm not saying that I don't like them. What I'm saying is that they did this whole thing of like, we're gonna be really diverse and really different, and it's gonna be like nothing you've ever seen before. No, they're all fucking stereotypes. They all, and here's the thing, they're all super funny women.
They are.
Leslie Jones, I think, is ironically enough on acting.
I never saw Leslie Jones before this movie. She's part of the new SNL. I do not know the new SNL.
I saw her on Saturday Night Live, and I thought it was like, when she's funny, she kind of reminds me of Key and Peele in the sense of like, at least for me, when they're funny, they're fucking funny, and they hit it, and they knock it out the park. It's a home run. But when they're not funny whatsoever, and their jokes fall flat. In that sense, I always thought she was like kind of weaker, but probably still just trying to find her footing on SNL, because that audition process is terrifying. But I thought that she was probably the funniest character in this movie. It's when she is funny. When she's funny, she's probably the funniest character, but again, her jokes are few and far between. When they fall hard.
Yeah. See, my two favorite weren't the two main ones, being
Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig.
Thank you. I liked Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones. They were my favorite ones. I thought they were the funniest. However, they were stereotypes. Kate McKinnon was the really, really nerdy, weird one.
Yeah,
she was the very, very weird one.
When your first joke in the movie is a queef joke, like, that sets up your fucking character. She thought that was funny. And I was just like, here's the thing, I love fart jokes, and I love queef jokes, I love jokes about bodily functions, because we're all human, we all do it. But when that's your first joke, and here's the thing, it wasn't even, like, set up that well. If they were maybe a little more tongue-in-cheek about it, it would have been way funnier.
They had a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments. They really did.
I think they tried to have a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a fucking fly.
Oh my god.
Wasn't a spider, don't worry.
Oh, thank god.
But it's like, alright, maybe if... Again, we said that this was a spoiler talk, so whatever. When they make that joke, the way that they make it is like, they have Kristen Wiig listening to this, like, EVP thing. They're like, you can hear something in the recording, and you have to, like, pay attention. And then it's a fart noise, and it's like, okay, that's whatever, you know? And there's Kristen Wiig, like, she's like, that was absolutely disgusting. That, like, real mature guys, that was real funny. And then Kristen Wiig's like, would it be even more... Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, like, she's like, looks right at Kristen Wiig. Would it be even more disgusting if I told you that came from the front? Like, at least in my opinion, would have been funnier. It was like, if she just kind of looked at Melissa McCarthy, like, that's, how can you just, like, fart on the EVP? If McKenna was just like, do you think she'd be really upset if she found out that wasn't actually a fart? You know, like, but just a little bit more, that would be a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. And I think that would have been a little more funny, but all the tongue-in-cheek moments come out really blatant, and it's very in your face.
Yeah. And I also thought that the male secretary, played by Chris Hemsworth, right, was the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. No person is that stupid. And he was like a walking joke, which is fine, you know, it's fine to make a joke about that. But, I thought they were kind of doing stereotypes with him, which is something that the originals didn't do either. The secretary in the originals wasn't just some sexy
awesome.
bitch.
No,
you know,
she was funny, and she was like...
She was cranky. I love cranky women.
She was funny. She was sassy. She called the Ghostbusters on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
He was just so stupid. So stupid. It wasn't funny.
Here's the thing. There are very many strong female characters, and very many, like, strong female characters. Like, for example, I just watched the trailer to Wonder Woman last night, and I am fucking pumped. Like, as a feminist, she's a character that you should love. Wonder Woman is everything, at least to me, that empowers...
That's the Justice League movie.
No, like, there was an actual trailer for a Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
And it's, like, Wonder Woman empowers everything that I feel like feminists really stand for. That they're not... At least... the classical sense, I will say, because, and I'll explain in a minute, because she's not like a man-hater per se or anything. She's like, no, I am woman, hear me roar. She uses her strength, her intelligence she says, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that you have the right to tell me what to do or have a right to boss me around. In the trailer for Wonder Woman, they make this joke. Chris Pine's in it, and he's introducing Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman to his secretary, and she goes, "Oh, who are you?" "Oh, I'm his secretary." "What's a secretary?" "Oh, basically I just do, and I follow him around, do whatever he says." And Wonder Woman looks at her and says, "Back where I come from, that's called slavery." And then Chris Pine, he just goes, yeah, okay, can we get a move on?" And the secretary, she looks right at Wonder Woman and goes like, "I like her. She's awesome." Like, I feel like that's everything that, like, she's a very strong character. If you're a new modern man-hating feminist that you just want to stomp on fucking men's testicles with Nazi boots and say, not only do we deserve to be equal to each other, I deserve to be better than you. I'm not saying that women don't. Like, if a woman can outclass a man in whatever it is that she's trying to outclass him in, if she can do it, she can fucking do it, you know? Like, if you're one of those, "Oh, woman can't be me," this, shut the fuck up and grow a fucking pair. Do you know how many times, I play video games on my channel? If I can make that a living, oh, that'd be awesome. How many times that she's fucking kicked my ass playing Halo? Like, and I don't, "Oh, it's because she's cheating." No, it's because she's fucking better than me, you know? At least on that one map.
Yeah. That one map really kicks your ass.
I fucking suck at that map. But it's like, yeah, if you're a fucking man-hater, you know, like...
See, feminism is about being equal. It's not about women being better than men.
And they take a stance that men are fucking stupid.
Not
men
all of them. Don't you generalize, alright?
In Ghostbusters?
Feminists...
I'm talking about Ghostbusters. Like, now I'm jumping back to Ghostbusters.
Okay.
In this movie, they take that stance that men are fucking stupid, that men are... They can't do anything right, that they're willing to lie to get what they want by any means.
That is kind of fair enough. The mayor lies to get what he wants. Chris Hemsworth is too stupid to know how to work phones.
He's supposed to be a web designer, and he can't
work
answer
a
a fucking phone.
And when he says, "Oh, that was loud," he covers his eyes. Like, what the fuck? And also, the really smart one. They did have a really smart one in there, but of course he was the only smart one. He was evil. The only evil smart one.
the only intelligent man in that movie is the evil villain.
Yeah.
And not only is
he portrayed the "everyone hates me" geeky, I'm kind of emo persona,
not only is he the villain, but he's the stereotypical nerd from like the 90s. You know, like the oh, I'm out of shape and I'm really pale, I never see the sun and no one likes me, and because no one likes me I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah, that wasn't cool at all. They should have portrayed the men a lot better in that movie. I understand a women's Ghostbusters, but at least the original Ghostbusters didn't portray women badly. They didn't.
No, and here's the thing: if they're like, "Well, this is gonna be a movie for, for feminists and female power," and then make your characters that way. Again, I love these women. Kristen Wiig is easily one of my favorite actresses and comedians on SNL, and I've loved just about everything that she's worked on. I think she's extremely talented. Melissa McCarthy is, in my personal opinion, one of the funniest women in Hollywood right now. And then again, Leslie Jones, I always felt was kind of hit or miss, but I know that she has the talent. I know that she's good. I mean, she got on fucking SNL. That's not exactly easy. And Kate McKinnon, I always thought was kind of the odd bird, but again, very funny. She's someone that I really liked. And we know that Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy can have extremely good chemistry together because of a movie like Bridesmaids, which they both starred in. It was also directed by Paul Feig, whatever his name is, the guy who directed Ghostbusters 2016. They had a great chemistry, and they were great characters, and they were still very funny. And they had had chemistry. My personal opinion, virtually none of that is in Ghostbusters 2016.
I mean, they had...
Did they have chemistry?
No.
Or I'll say this: did they have genuine chemistry, or did it feel like they were reading a script and playing the beats?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They were playing the fucking beats to the movie.
And all of the also all the movie was very predictable, and I'm usually the kind of person that loses myself in the theater in a movie. You know, I don't usually think about stuff like that, but it was all very predictable.
Yeah, like
you saw everything in the trailer, even though it didn't seem like it. You know,
that is another thing I fucking hate Hollywood. Why
don't release as many trailers? Don't release them too early. Star Trek does it very, very well. The new ones. I only saw a trailer for Star Trek, I think, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And it came out July 22nd.
Yeah, it's coming out.
I talked to a few women who didn't even know that there was a third one.
Yeah, it's
they had no fucking idea.
Like, because they need to create the hype. They need to get the advertising out there.
They do, but don't do it in as many trailers, and don't do it so early. I just saw a trailer for the Justice League. Batman vs Superman came out a couple of months ago. You know, it hasn't.
Maybe like a year ago.
No, it was out in December.
I think it was 2015.
Nah, it was out.
I'll have to check.
It was out in like December or something, but it wasn't out that long ago, and they already have footage for the Justice League. They've already released a trailer, and it's not even coming out until 2019. It's 2019.
I think so. I'm gonna have to double check.
And that's just so ridiculous to me. I don't want to wait that long.
It's too fast.
Suicide Squad kind of did the same thing. Didn't they release a trailer in like 2015 or some shit?
I think they did release a trailer last year, 2015.
It just felt like too long to wait.
Yeah.
And usually if I have to wait too long between the trailer and the movie, no matter how many trailers are released in that time, I'm not going to get more and more hyped for it. I'm going to lose interest in it. And if you release so many trailers, I see the whole fucking movie in the trailers.
And then that's the thing. If you release too much footage, and if you show the movie in the trailer, then what's the point of going to the fucking movie? Like, I can remember I went, oh, this is probably what's gonna happen in the movie when we were watching the trailers, and you're like, oh, well, you don't know, they could change it up. No, everything I said. Freaking Chris Hemsworth is gonna be the villain. He gets possessed, and he lets all the ghosts free.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's very predictable. They have another, like, knockoff Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at the end that the original Ghostbusters
it's the
did,
Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah, it's the Ghostbusters fucking logo, and he gets huge, and half of his face gets burned off and shit. Even the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was in the fucking movie, and that's fine. That's really, really fine. That's a nice little cameo that they threw in, but they shouldn't have called it a sequel. You know, I mean, it was
because it wasn't.
And also Bill Murray.
Oh, this is one of them.
Sigourney Weaver and one of my favorite actors with his fucking
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Yes, they were all in the movie, and it wasn't. They had great cameos. Well, no, they didn't. They had cameos. They had interesting cameos, but they weren't who they originally played in the Ghostbusters. You know, those cameos should have been the originals. You know, I get that they couldn't add in the third guy because he died. I understand that.
Yeah. And he would fucking hate this movie.
He would hate. I think that he would hate this movie, and none of them played the original Ghostbusters members. Sigourney Weaver didn't play the original character that she was in the first and second one. She just didn't. She was a whole other person, and it really, really sucks because I want Bill Murray to do some ghostbusting. That's what I want his cameo to be. You know, he was a Ghostbuster debunker in this. In this movie, and it totally makes sense if they just left him as Dr. Venkman, you know, and he decided to go on a different career path where he decided to start calling out fake shit on its fake shit. That would have been really cool to me, and it would have made sense as a career choice for Dr. Peter Venkman, you know? He can't just keep ghostbusting into his old age, you know? So that would have made a lot of sense, you know? And then the other one was a cab driver that you only see for a few seconds.
Dan Aykroyd shows up as a cab driver.
As a cab driver, and he has a cool line, but he's not in it enough. I love Dan Aykroyd. And then Sigourney Weaver comes in at the end as Kate McKinnon's...
mentor.
As mentor, yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then throughout the whole movie, you hear that Leslie Jones like, oh, my uncle, I got this car from my uncle. He runs a funeral shop. My uncle. You see her uncle at the very end, and it's Ernie Hudson. It's Winston. Oh. But again, it's like...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, if you're going to have the original Ghostbusters and they do these cameos were garbage.
Yeah, they really were. They were thrown in to make the people who love the originals happy.
Yeah, they're like,
they
see, we didn't forget,
happy.
we didn't forget you. They're still there. No, they're fucking not.
The thing about Star Wars is they try to appeal to a new audience without losing respect to the old audience, like you were saying. Ghostbusters didn't do that. They just wanted a whole new audience.
No,
and
they
didn't
said
give a shit about
fuck
their
you guys.
older audience. They didn't give a shit about who watched it before and who watched the originals and who loves it. So it was disrespectful in that way.
It just, the movie's not funny.
I thought it was kind of funny.
I didn't find it funny.
I liked it, but not because it was a good movie. That's the only way I can say it. I laughed at it, but not at the stereotypical funny parts. I laughed at the darker parts, I think.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what the parts were that I found funny. Like, the only parts that I can think of, like, that's more funny than the entire movie. Just me thinking, just hearing... that sound was funnier, like, just that whole little interaction was funnier than the entire Ghostbusters 2016 film. Again, there's no chemistry. This movie had no heart. It didn't...
Yeah, it did.
It felt like a cash grab.
It was just to make a paycheck.
It did feel like a paycheck.
Heart. Yeah.
It felt like a paycheck for everyone involved.
Yeah.
The only good thing I can give about specifically Bill Murray's cameo is that you watch it and you can tell, like, oh, this is a fucking paycheck for you and you don't care.
Yeah.
Like, but when Bill Murray gets that way,
if it was respectful to the original.
yeah, the only cameo that I thought was kind of funny, that was kind of good was and again, it sucked because it was so short and it was the best cameo because again, Ernie Hudson shows up as the uncle at
the end,
at the very end,
and he's just
it's
yelling
whatever.
at her about the hearse.
Yeah, which
saying
is
something
whatever.
like, "I got funerals this
Yeah, yeah, whatever. Sigourney Weaver shows up during like the credits scene to keep everyone there, as Kate McKinnon's mentor, and she's just very stiff. Yes. Then
she's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But she would deliver lines that the real character wouldn't deliver.
Yeah. Then Bill Murray. Again, like you could tell how fucking little he cares, and he has like an actual character. It's very short and it is a cameo. Yeah. And he fucking dies. This movie has a body count.
Yeah, it does.
Like what? Alright, Bill Murray dies. The main villain commits suicide so that he can fucking take over Chris Hemsworth's body. Which, again, another big fucking issue with this. Why is it that he's just a ghost? This dude, like, yeah, he read the book that Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy wrote. He read the book, so he understands what goes on in the paranormal dimension and whatnot.
About theories that aren't even proven.
Yeah. Why does he have fucking, like, Zool's power all of a sudden? Or not Zool, who was the big one? The big one that they worked for?
I thought it was,
There's only Zool. No, fucking...
I thought it was Zool.
No, it was the...
It wasn't Zod.
No. No, it's Zool, but there's the dude that Zool works for. I'm just trying to find it real quick.
I don't fucking know.
But you know who's all... The one that at the end of the original Ghostbusters, choose the form of the destroyer.
Yeah,
and then...
wasn't that Zool?
No, Zool was one of the dogs.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he was.
Really?
But yeah, this fucking demon who's like so like ever powerful and everything.
He has the powers of Zool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, this dude who commits suicide, he's the one that, for whatever fucking reason, can like shapeshift. He turns into a cartoon at one point. Like he turns into a cartoon version of the Ghostbusters logo.
He turns into the Ghostbusters
yeah.
logo. And then he becomes a giant Ghostbusters logo.
When they decide to find, like, when they're finally able to take him down, which again, big Ex Machina, Slimer finally shows up, and he steals the Ectomobile, and he fucking drives around.
And
he's having the time of his life.
For some fucking
yeah,
reason.
and all of a sudden the Ecto-1 is a nuke. Okay. Like,
I mean, I kind of understand. Why would they have that technology on the top of their car roof?
The reason was because they needed an excuse to be able to throw the Ecto-1 into the portal because they needed something to get Big Baddie back into the ghost portal once they're getting everything. And so then they decide, how are we supposed to do this? Oh, I know, turn the Ecto-1 into a nuke. No one will question it.
I mean, yeah, and... Yeah, and at the end... in their credits, they're gonna have another one, of course, at the end.
Oh god.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Leslie Jones. She's listening to an EVP and she's like, "Hey guys, this sounds really weird."
Who's Zool?
Who's Zool?
And I don't want to see all that again. Like they did it.
No, I would much rather see Zool again and whatever the big fucking demon's name is. Please leave down in the comments what the fucking demon's name was. I cannot remember. The one that said she was the form of the Destroyer.
I thought that was the lady that showed up.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what her name is.
Oh.
That's the thing. The big baddie.
Honey, don't look it up right now.
Man. But yeah, it's
But
like...
I don't want them to recreate another Ghostbusters. That's what I don't want. The originals were fine. The originals were fucking amazing. You're not portraying them correctly, but don't make it again. Make your own fucking thing. Don't
if you're gonna
copy
make
shit.
If you're gonna
and plus,
make
you've already done a giant, big baddie. You know, I don't.
We're starting to ramble. At the end of the
we
day,
really are. We're gonna need to edit the shit out of this video. You talked for like 10 minutes about feminism for some reason.
Because it applied.
It applies, but not for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Fucking. Again, what was the other thing? Yeah, another moment when they're like, "Oh, we need to get the big guy back into the hole, the big baddie." They decided, like, all right, grab the proton guns, and they shoot him in the fucking ghost balls. Like, all right, we gotta loosen his grip. And then, you know, he starts to fall. And then Kate McKinnon.
It's kind of funny.
I was like, what the ghost balls. Okay. Ghost balls. No, you're not gonna shoot him in the arms and fucking lasso him back in and make him
Yeah, you'd think, you know, but
no.
It was funny.
He's a man. So shoot him in the ghost balls.
I found it funny. I found it funny.
Of course you did.
Shut up.
Just, I don't know. I don't know, guys.
We were so happy at the beginning of this video. And
yeah, speaking of happy, one of the other reasons why I gave this movie a 3 instead of a 2. If you're a fan of the Ghostbusters, this is the worst part. The opening is really good.
Yeah.
The opening is very Ghostbusters. The movie opens with this dude, he's giving this tour of like this old, supposedly haunted mansion. And he has this little trigger in his pocket that he makes his candle fall over, and he freaks everyone out like, "Oh, we probably should get away from the basement. The ghost is there. We should leave." But then you see him like, he's like, "I love my job." But then the ghost actually appears, and he's trying to run away. But the fucking like door handle for him to get out, like it gets like red hot, so he burns his hand. Then he like grabs his chair and goes, "I'm sorry, mister, whatever the fuck your name was, who owned the mansion." And he tries to throw, and the ghost stops it in midair. So he knows he's virtually fucked. And so then, just in a sheer panic, he runs down into the basement. And then once he's down there, again, I think this is one of the parts that I found pretty funny. He's down there, he goes like, "Oh shit," and he turns around and he sees that the basement door closes itself, and he goes, "Oh, fuck." Like, he just goes, "God, I'm an idiot.
Damn it, Gregory."
God damn it, Gregory." You know? Something like that. Like, he does the, "I'm a fucking moron." And that was pretty funny. And then again, you see this mist, and this dude, he's like in a panic. He goes, "No, no, no, no!" And then it zooms in, and then you hear the original theme, the dun 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 dun.
I'm not sure if it was the original theme.
Yeah, at the very at the very beginning, it was the original theme.
Oh, they also played the Fall Out Boy theme. The song that Fall Out Boy made, and I really do like Fall Out Boy. I really do.
I do too, boy.
Newer CD and old. I do like old Fall Out Boy. But this song is
garbage, and it shows up.
Sucks.
And I thought maybe it'll be better because it's in a montage sequence. No, it doesn't help.
I mean, it's really not good. I don't like it.
This movie sucks. Like, us talking about how much this movie sucks has made me smile and laugh more than the entire fucking movie.
Yeah. You're also getting super pissed.
Yeah, I'm starting to get angry. Because it sucks! If you're gonna make a Ghostbusters remake, say you're making a fucking remake! Don't say it's a fucking sequel! Because it's not!
Alright.
Fuck!
No need to be so loud.
Do you have anything else to add?
No.
No, it just sucks.
No. There's not a lot.
Would you watch it again for free if it was on Netflix or on TV? That silence is telling me no.
Yeah.
It's not
I'd
worth...
rather watch HGTV.
It's not even worth a free watch.
I mean, if you're watching it for the first time, yeah.
It's
totally worth it.
If
just watch it, see how you like it. Maybe you'll find a movie that you do like that maybe others don't, you know. I like movies that other people really hate. I do. Yeah. And so everyone has that kind of movie. Everyone does. Okay. But so if you can have a chance to watch it for free, watch it for free. I wouldn't pay for it again. I don't regret watching it in theaters just so I could watch it.
I do.
I wish it was $5 instead of, $15.
I would have watched it for free.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance again, just watch it for free. Don't pay for it. I don't think it's worth it.
It's not a Redbox rental. It's not a movie to buy. It's a movie that if you haven't cut your cable, which what's wrong with you? If you haven't cut your cable and you're just surfing through channels and it pops up and you haven't seen it,
might as well give it a try. See how you feel about it.
I do believe that there's no such thing.
You gotta get your own opinions as things.
I do believe that there's no such thing as a bad movie. You can make a movie that 100 people watch and 99 of those people hate it. If that one person likes the movie, then you didn't fail. It's not a bad movie. One person likes it. I honestly believe that this is that movie that if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters, you're gonna hate it. If you're a fan of good comedies, you're gonna hate it because it's not funny. If you're a fan of strong female characters, you're gonna hate it because they're not strong female characters. They're caricatures. They're stereotypes. Yeah. If you're a mass audience moviegoer that goes for it has good effects. I thought the effects were pretty good.
The effects were alright, yeah. They were fine.
If that's all you care about, then maybe you'll like it.
Yeah.
But if you like...
At least try it. Make sure that you can either go, yeah, I watched it, I didn't like it, or yeah, I watched it, and I did like it. I
pulled a little bit of fry out of my mustache.
I don't agree with your opinions, you know.
But it's your opinion.
Be able to say something like that, And just see for yourself. And I think that's probably where we should leave it.
Yeah. I kind of don't want to edit this down either.
It's 37 minutes.
Yeah, so what?
My God.
Alright, guys. Well, this has been your buddy Wolfman Pedro. Let's think of a name for you. Yeah. Are you going to be LadyLinneyBug or something else? This is Pretty Lenny.
Funny.
And...
Don't...
This is Pretty Lenny. And we will see you guys next time. I'm exhausted from just remembering that movie.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I said stop.